Charlotte Flair is sick of all the criticisms. I am in the title picture and I'll always be in the title picture. It's one of those unfortunate side effects of excelling at something you wouldn't understand.
And who is favored to win the Women's Royal Rumble? Will it be the EST or Rhea Ripley?
Welcome everyone to Ring the Bell, this is DS.
And I am the interdimensional Shiro, Moxie Molly.
Welcome back to Ring the Bell's News and Rumor. Hope you really like that highly anticipated Layla interview because it's finally out. I'm so sorry for the audio up, but you know.
I feel the audio up made it just better.
But here's an update on that. Layla and I talked. She wants to do a part 2 of the top 5, so we'll get on that sometime in the next couple months, okay? Hope that happens. Let's start with the Royal Rumble 2021 prediction. Who do you think will win, Moxie?
As always, the EST, Bianca Belair.
Obviously, I would love to see Bianca Belair win. I also want to see either Naomi or Sonya Deville win.
The last Women's Rumble, Bianca Belair shined. She wasn't the winner. She was so amazing. There was even other WWE talent tweeting and disappointed that she didn't win because everyone was behind her to win. So I think it's really exciting that the thought that she's going to win this one. And I think that's why we expect it. We want it. We want the EST. Would you agree?
Agree 100%. But what if it doesn't happen again?
Riot. And I'm just going to break windows and storm up the stairs and get what I want until Bianca becomes the Royal Rumble winner.
Honestly, knowing WWE, they'll probably just give it to Rhea or Alexa.
I
the blonde women.
They know we want it, and they'll never give it to us. But they will give us Charlotte over and over.
But here's what the betting odds are saying, and I know what you're thinking. Who cares about the f***ing betting odds? It's just people voting.
I don't understand why people bet on not real sports, but
that is a very good point. That's what I thought. So whenever I got these betting odds news, I'm like, who the f*** cares? But apparently, for the last 3 years, the entirety of women's wrestling Royal Rumble history, they've got the winners right every year. And so every Thursday before Royal Rumble, they get the predictions right every time, apparently. So right now, let's see who is leading this betting odds. So right now on top is the EST, the top-ist of the betting oddest-ist is Bianca Belair. And secondly, we've got Joey's favorite, Rhea Ripley. And then we got Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Charlotte Flair, Sonya Deville, Ronda Rousey, and Shayna Baszler.
Is Ronda Rousey back?
No.
So that's a waste of a spot.
I mean, I think her contract is up actually this coming April or May. It might be her last hurrah before her contract is up.
Yeah. No.
I mean, there's also news of her training with Rowdy Piper's daughter, Teal Piper. So that's also, I think, adding to the rumor. What do you think about Alexa's new gimmick, by the way?
Joey has, since the day I met him, been very obsessed with Alexa Bliss, and I didn't get it. I get she's really talented, but she's just like cookie cutter, blonde, beautiful, sassy sort of wrestler. Very talented, just nothing that really separates her from the rest, really. But they giving her this, it has just, I feel, skyrocketed her to higher levels of people like me who enjoy a good gimmick. I think she's amazing. I think this is the best possible thing they could have done for her. Not just to elevate her to a higher level, it's just showing you what she can do as far as building a gimmick and the acting goes. She's killing it.
You think she can win Royal Rumble?
I hope she doesn't, because this is Bianca Belair's time, and she doesn't need it. They've already got her in a cool sort of storyline. I don't even know why she's in the Royal Rumble, to be honest. And also, if someone throws her out, it kind of makes her look more weak in this Fiend character.
She was on main event of Raw for 3 weeks in a row or something like that. She's doing really awesome. Huge push. But speaking of a big push, let's talk about Charlotte Flair. So she's pissed.
Yes, she's mad.
So she's pissed that people are pissed about the fact that she's getting a lot of push. She tweeted this out responding to an article that was on Daily DDT. Our good friend Phil is also affiliated with the website. Basically, the article is about how Charlotte Flair basically came back from the hiatus and won the title right away. And Charlotte Flair responded by saying, "I should just scroll block this garbage, but words matter, so I'll take a few moments to educate you since both a human and I would assume an editor allowed this bullshit to sell the Al Gore's internet." I still don't get what this joke is.
Al Gore's internet. He's the father of the internet. supposedly.
I've taken time off 3 times while on the main roster. First time when my dad was sick, second time was 6-week injury that was followed by 18 months of staring at life to help create a star. Third time is now. What exactly is it that I'm avoiding? I keep looking for an article where you trash one of the male champions for taking time off and being inserted back in the title picture. Didn't find one. Shocking. Wonder why. I'm in the title picture and I'll always be in the title picture. It's one of those unfortunate side effects of excelling at something you wouldn't understand.
Damn. I get what she's saying because she's Charlotte Flair. She does work her ass off, and even in times where, you know, the company isn't doing very well, she's consistent. Her stuff is always on point. She's the female face of the company. She carries it. Like, she deserves all the accolades. And I think it is kind of rude that they would say that, you know, she shouldn't be in the title picture, because what man has left and come back and then been benched for a while and have to crawl his way back up? Like, Seth Rollins got hurt, came back, title picture immediately. Like, she's right.
She is the star. She's the face of the company. She will be in the main storyline. That happens with male superstars all the time. But I don't watch as much of male wrestling as you do. So tell me, are there any male superstar that had this short of a time to gain like 13 titles? Except for like maybe John Cena?
I don't think so.
I think the problem is she won the tag title. And she is doing something that's nothing to do with the tag title. Like, she's not having tag matches. She's not having a tag feud. She's feuding with Ric Flair and Lacey Evans, having like whole love story. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on there.
Stupidest thing I've seen recently.
I could see where people are frustrated that she's just taking these titles to match Ric Flair. She's not doing it to build a division or to build other superstars or have a meaningful storyline.
There's 2 things I'm going to say. Is one, that's not Charlotte Flair's fault. So
Agreed.
Don't write this article like attacking her, although it's not attacking her, Charlotte Flair the person. Even in her gimmick, that's not her fault. Like, that's what they're writing for her, that's what they're telling her to do. So lay off of her a little bit. But secondly, Charlotte Flair, this is very out of character for her. She's never really broke the 4th wall like this before. Years and years and years, you get this, why is Charlotte doing this? Why does she need everything? Why is she always in this? Blah, 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 blah. Like, sooner or later, it eats away at you, even if you are a great character and your real person starts to feel affected and you break out and you go wild. And I think that's what's happening. I get it that the article's not criticizing her as a person, but after a while, you're kind of just fed up with the bullshit and you're like, listen, I work my f***ing ass off. I get everything that I deserve. For those of you who sit on the sidelines and don't work your f***ing ass off, stop being jealous.
But you're in WWE and everyone worked their ass off. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like EST, she works her ass off. She probably should be like at least 5-time champion by now. Looking at her record of how much opportunity she gets, I feel like there is some differences. She gets a lot of opportunities, yeah.
Like she said, they don't get mad at Seth Rollins or John Cena or even The Undertaker every year being able to just walk in and have a match at WrestleMania. Like, she sells. And right now the company's dipping, going up, dipping, like, she sells. So they do what's best for business. Best for business!
There is no doubt that Charlotte Flair is absolutely talented. She's amazing. I love her. She's great. First of all, I think she needs to know that they're not attacking her. They're attacking the booking. And it is a scripted show where they have hundreds of different characters and there's fans of all these different characters, so they want to see other people. I think it's natural. So hopefully booking can really come up with ways to showcase other people too. So I think that's what people really want. They're not coming for Charlotte Flair's amazing talent.
With the Dusty Tag Team Tournament coming up, I have hope that for some reason they gave her that title because her and Asuka will go do something cool with that. Who knows? But there's hope. There's a little glimmer of hope.
Let's go into that tournament. Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Tournament teams are announced. So let's go through the team. We got Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, Gigi Dolin and Cora Jade, Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon, Marina Shafir and Zoe Stark, Mercedes Martinez and Toni Storm, Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter, Aaliyah and Jessica Mia, Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. There's a lot of questions about this because first of all, people don't know who Zoe Stark, Gigi Dolin and Cora Jade were. But on top of that, what happened to the other two?
So even when you were like reading them for a second, when you said Zoe Stark with Shafir, I was like, they split the other two up like they split up the Iconics, and they do not even care.
So this is the news. Jessamyn Duke, the one of the other two, has been drafted to Up Up Down Down. Dakota Kai, Jessamyn Duke, and Mia Yim and Shayna Baszler were appointed as the co-commissioners of Up Up Down Down. Jessamyn Duke is a full-time on Up Up Down Down because she prefers right now that role over wrestling because of the whole COVID situation.
I guess that makes sense in keeping yourself safe, but Up Up Down Down is like a YouTube show. That's what we do. WWE pay us millions of dollars to talk about wrestling and video games. I can do that till the cows come home.
Do you think we missed opportunity with the other two going full force?
Piggy Rattlesnake? No.
I do have to say, I've been loving Marina Shafir's Instagram. Have you been seeing her like new posts? She glammed up.
True, but I don't think we missed anything. Like in ring.
I thought they were great in the Underground Raw.
Yeah, because we see them 7 seconds at a time. Everyone can do a good spot in 7 seconds.
Anyway, let's talk about the 3 new names in this tournament. We got Zoe Stark, Gigi Dolin, and Cora Jade. Zoe Stark is formerly known as Lacey Ryan. Gigi, formerly known as the popular, the famous Priscilla Kelly. We all heard about her with the whole bloody tuna spot.
She did the bloody tampon, and then the next weekend she vomited in someone's mouth. Totally on brand for WWE.
She was also a Mae Young Classic, and I think a lot of people were kind of worried that those controversial spots will cost her chance of being in WWE. But one thing I will say about Priscilla Kelly is that she's so talented. She's just very talented wrestler. So that's why even with those controversial stuff, I feel like that was almost like her being smart and trying to make a name for herself online.
That, as well as who we'll talk about, formerly Elena Black, both of them also had matches on AEW Dark. I feel like we're starting to see a rush of WWE picking up the talent that they may have not picked up before because they thought they still needed to work or make a name for themselves. WWE's like basically not even having like people come to the training center. They're just like, they have talent, we can groom them, bring them in, because we don't want to make the other company sign them and lose money.
Elena Black is like a superstar of a Chicago scene. She's very young. I think she's still in teenage, right?
Yeah, she's 19 years old.
So she's a star. She has this awesome gimmick where she has like a little casket and she like curses people.
And I'm fairly certain when she beats you, she puts a picture of you in her casket. Like she's collecting you. I mean, I'm not going to say collecting your souls or anything because that's kind of like fiend level, but like that's kind of what she does, yeah.
Let's talk about Mercedes Martinez for a little bit. She was randomly teamed up with Toni Storm here. So before this whole situation, she was originally teamed up with Aaliyah, which we were pretty excited about that, right?
Yes, very excited. Aaliyah needs her chance.
And then she got picked out from that and she was put on a Retribution and she disappeared from it. So this is what happened. She recently talked to PW Insider about this whole situation. She decided to quit Retribution stable and she said that the trick is to make the best with anything you've given, but that opportunity just wasn't for her. So Mercedes said, I was given an opportunity and I took the opportunity not knowing what the outcome would be. You got to make the best with anything you can, but I think when that opportunity came, it just wasn't for me. When you hit the pinnacle of your career, as I did hitting 20 years, you want to make the most of your career and make it part of your legacy. She obviously did not like the Retribution. She thought it was trash, so she quit. So props to her for doing that.
Honestly, Retribution felt like even creative didn't know what was going on with it. And so I could see how it'd be frustrating to say, yeah, I'm here to, take this on. And then when there's no real path to take and you're as talented as her, I could see her being like, this ain't it, kid. Like, get me out of here.
I mean, it's honestly badass that she could just say, no, I'm not doing this.
Well, I was kind of thinking that too. Like, what other wrestler can be like, I'm not doing that? And then, like, get put into a cool sort of tag team.
That is very badass. So all the props to Mercedes Martinez. Let's go to Impact World for a little bit. So Impact just crowned their new Knockout Tag Team Champions. So Impact just wrapped their tag team tournament, crowning the new Knockout Tag Team Champions. It is Fire and Flavor.
WWE a while ago was like, we're going to do this women's tag team tournament. And then we saw AEW try to do it, which was just very weird how they did it. And then we see Impact do it, and I think it's smart for Impact to do it because they actually have titles where AEW just like awarded like a trophy or a plaque or something. Everyone expects AEW to be giving WWE a run for their money. But in the women's division solely, Impact is giving WWE a run for their money when it comes to the women's division.
Agreed. And this entire Knockout Tag Team Championship tournament, including the legendary Jazz, this has been freaking amazing. And Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz versus Havoc and Nevaeh, hard to kill. It was a freaking awesome match. It was great to see Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz finally like take that title and get the recognition they deserve.
Agreed. I'm here for it. It's exciting. And I don't know that WWE is going to be able to get us such an exciting sort of tournament or even winner with this.
I mean, it's NXT. I have hope in them.
I just think you're seeing a lot of names in this tournament that are brand new. You know what I mean? Like, we just named 3 of them that are brand new. Like, with Impact, they brought in, like, people that people were behind and knew. Like, Jazz, come on. They're not going to be able to beat that surprise.
Hopefully they can do like even just half as good as Impact did, because that Impact's whole tournament was absolutely amazing. But another Impact news, Taya Valkyrie, the longest knockout champion of all time, she is quitting Impact. So there has been news of her contract being up. Her contract was set to be expired in December, according to PW Insider. She had this whole segment in Impact where she was revealed as the one who shot Johnny Bravo during the wedding with Rosemary. So she got basically arrested.
Get her out of here! Get her!
Where are you thinking of taking her?
If she's lucky, she'll go to Jacksonville State Prison. But for what she did, and she's not that lucky, I think they're going to send her to Stanford Maximum Penitentiary for 2 years, maybe an option for 3. And trust me, that'll change a person's soul forever.
Obviously teased to AEW and WWE.
Doesn't she date Johnny Bravo?
No, she's dating John Morrison.
Oh, you're right. Okay. I was very confused for a second. She is a legend in her own right, but I just feel like she's not on brand with what WWE is looking for, so I have a feeling she's going to AEW, where unfortunately I feel like that's the wrong move for her. I feel like she's doing amazing things in Impact. Unless AEW has done a complete turnaround with the women's division, I don't know if Tatya can save it.
I feel like her looks, her whole like diva-esque character fits perfectly with WWE. I think it's also a factor that John Morrison is in WWE, but also we now have been seeing so many couples that work in WWE and AEW separately. Also, what we have to understand is that AEW has really good relationship with Impact right now, so that could also impact where Taya's going next. So super excited to see where she goes. I feel like she would be awesome in WWE, but also in AEW, I think she could lead the entire division.
I would hope that they don't ruin her, is what I was kind of not saying outright, is she's got so much momentum, and we just historically have not seen them do much. Like, Britt Baker created her own momentum. AEW did not create that for her. She created it.
But AEW is trying something different, maybe, because Tony Khan was seen taking notes at an Impact taping, so maybe he took some notes about the Knockout division, because AEW is starting AEW Women's World Championship Eliminator Tournament for the #1 contendership for the Women's Championship. They just announced that this whole World Championship Eliminator Tournament, I don't know why they're saying Eliminator Tournament, but the winner of this tournament will be facing the current AEW Women's Champion Hikaru Shida. Her last defense was against Abaddon.
Hikaru Shida's still the champion? What the hell are they doing?
So by the looks of the graphic, it seems like there will be 16 people participating. It also shows a flag of Japan on one side and one side is the United States. So it seems like maybe one side might be like predominantly Japanese Joshi wrestlers.
They tried that when AEW very first started. They brought in all these Joshi wrestlers. They failed to put momentum behind them and make the American audience fall in love with them and make them as big as they are. I hope they do it right this time, but they haven't really had any change in leadership or creative.
And again, this is like completely speculation that they are bringing in Joshi wrestlers just because of the Japanese flag they have in the graphic. But also, if they are flying out Japanese wrestlers into America, there might be some kind of logistical issue because now the Biden administration is asking everyone who's coming into US to have the negative test result, but also if you go back to Japan, they have to quarantine there for 2 weeks. So it might be whole headache. So I don't know what they're going to do with that if that happens. Additional news is that they are trying to get Riho, the inaugural women's champion in AEW, back, but there again is having some logistical issue with all of that because Riho wants to be back and forth with United States and Japan, but that's just not going to be possible. It just says coming soon, so we don't know when it's going to start, but hopefully this one is better than the last tag team tournament. Hopefully this is on a TV show, not a YouTube.
Yeah, I hope. I have big hope that they'll finally get their shit together.
Again, I say this all the time. They have amazing talent. They got Britt Baker. They got Nyla Rose. Ty Conti. They also brought so many great talent in the tag tournament too. So they've got the people, but they just have to utilize them well. I like the sound of this, but I just hope they can really make some greatness out of this.
I hope. I'll just say that.
Alright, so that was all the news we had. I think we went through quite a lot. Moxie, where can we find you?
You can find me across all social media platforms at that's THEE, Moxie Molly, and you can also find me in your dreams.
And our Patreon exclusive Discord.
Oh yes, we have a Patreon exclusive Discord that DS created a discussion group just for me because I'm crazy obsessed with Drag Race now that DS got me into it. So you can hear all my crazy ideas and thoughts on Drag Race 13, which is the first season I'm actually watching as it's happening and rolling out.
But on top of that, we are spilling so much tea about what's going on backstage with the whole interview situations. Do you want to know why the reshoot never happened? We will tell you why. And also, you can find me on all my social media, DS Shin and Ring the Bell DS on Twitter. Alright, see you next week. Bye!
Bye!